We are now getting into in-person and recall audition territory for the 2025 audition season, which is very exciting. Because now the UCAS submission deadline has been and gone, which means that we need to start getting fired up for meeting an audition panel face to face. You've got your speeches, check. You've got your outfit, check. You know where you're going and when, check. And you know what you're going to be doing on the day. Check. But there is something missing. There's this big gaping hole in the middle of your process, which could be the make or break when it comes to your in-person auditions, and that is your mindset. Mindset is one of those buzzwords that's just kind of thrown around at the moment from lots of Instagram influencers and such. It's a really big thing in the self-improvement space. Lots of people have been talking about it for quite a while. And in a sense, it's kind of lost all meaning if you don't have anything to anchor it to. If you don't have a certain focus or a certain goal that you're attributing that mindset to. Basically, a mindset is something that you teach your brain to do so that you get the thing that you want. Your mindset is something that is supposed to work in your favor, but so much of the time it works to our detriment, which is why we need to shift it. Because if your current mindset is something that isn't serving you, is kind of keeping you in a box, keeping you static, and not giving you the results that you want, then you are going to benefit astronomically by shifting that mindset into some kind of positive space so that you are working towards getting the thing that you want. So take the Navy SEALs going through BUDS training, for example. This is one of the most physically rigorous training programs in the entire world. And it's well documented that the candidates that make it through successfully not only have the physical attributes that they need to get themselves through the program, but it's also a rigorous mindset that they have, a mental resilience and a sense of grit. Because in the end, having an ironclad mindset is the thing that is going to get you what you want. And for these successful candidates, instead of viewing the grueling, rigorous program as something like unnecessary punishment and losing sight of why they're doing it in the first place because things are getting hard, the SEAL candidates with the most robust mindset hold true to their big why. Why are they putting themselves through this? What is it that they ultimately want to achieve? And the ability to reframe the really uncomfortable experience that they're actually having that moment and to think clearly and objectively through the discomfort. Now, I'm not saying that drama school auditioning is in any way akin to Navy SEALs training. We're not saying that. But what I am saying is that if we apply the same principles of focusing on the mindset, the mental, the emotional resilience, instead of purely our audition material or our talent level or what the audition panel thinks of us, if we plow energy into what's happening up here instead of how we are appearing from the outside, then we are in a much better position to be succeeding in these times of discomfort, of stress, of nerves. So, what should we be reframing our mindset to be? What should be our focus? Well, for me, and it sounds really simple, but when I audition, the thing that I focus on is that I am an equal. And I've spoken about this concept so many times in previous videos, but it is worth repeating again and again and again. It was a game changer for me as a professional actor, and it's been a game changer as an audition panelist sitting on these drama school auditions. Now, the equality mindset is going to be something that I'm going to focus on heavily in my upcoming workshops. I'm doing 3 weekend workshops in March 2025, concentrating on in-person and recall auditions for drama school. And they're going to be taking place in Glasgow, in London, and in Manchester. We're going to be working in small groups on your ensemble workshop skills, strengthening your audition speeches, working with redirection, interview technique, physical warm-ups, vocal warm-ups, and a whole host of other things. It is going to be really, really valuable. And considering the audition season only comes around once a year, it's something that's going to really give you the edge when you are fully prepared, when you're feeling confident, and when you can anticipate what is going to be expected of you when you walk into that audition room. And it will help you get noticed for all of the right reasons. And if this is something that you are interested in attending, then all of the details are in the description box below. Now, please take into account that there are limited spaces because I want to keep these groups kind of small. So if this is something that you want to do, then I would grab your space as soon as you can to avoid disappointment. I'm also running a little early bird discounted price until the 14th of February. So if you want a little money off, then why not just book it like right now? Now back to mindset. If you are walking into your audition with this proverbial begging bowl and this whole I'm not worthy mentality, then believe me when I say that the audition panel will be instantly put off. They don't want to be around somebody who is voluntarily putting themselves into a lower status than them. Nobody wants to be around that. It just makes everyone feel kind of weird. Panels will get the sense that you have a lack of faith in yourself, in your abilities, in your right to actually exist in that space, and that you are desperately seeking validation and approval. I mean, imagine somebody turning up to a date like that. It would give you the ick, yes? It's because by putting yourself in this lower status, you're pedestaling them, and there's this horrible, weird power imbalance. Equally though, if you were coming into this audition room with this sense of superiority, of this kind of like cock of the walk, I'm the best thing since sliced bread attitude, that you're better than the school, better than the audition, and better than the panelists themselves, then you're just gonna get everybody's backs up. Who wants to be around a person who is putting across the idea that they are better than you? Not me. Again, if you went on a date with that person, are you inclined to go for a second date? Probably not. The trick is to shift away from this idea that the audition panel are on a different level to you, whether that is above you or below you. We want to adopt the mindset of equality, of an equal playing field. They are the ones hosting the audition, but you can contribute to running the audition because it's your audition, not the panel's, your audition. So how do we do this? Accept control. Audition nerves come from this idea of feeling out of control and at the mercy of whatever's about to happen. And I'm saying that you need to focus first on what you actually can control, and then accept control of what is on offer to you when you step into the audition room. First and foremost, you have control over the schools that you apply to. No one's got a gun to your head telling you, you must apply here. You have full control over that. You also have control over your material choices. Now, apart from the guidelines that the schools are putting in place, you have free reign over choosing whatever speech you want, something that sings out to you, that makes you light up. You have control of that. You have control over your preparation, the amount of work that you put in. What you put in, you will get out. And you have control over every aspect of how much effort and energy and attention you put into preparation to gear yourself up for these auditions. You have control over actually attending these auditions. If you don't want to go, don't go. If you don't want to submit a self-tape, don't submit a self-tape. Again, no one's forcing you to do this. This is a choice. You need to re-chime into this idea that you are not doing this under duress. Even though it's slightly uncomfortable and nerve-wracking, you are choosing this. So if you do not want to choose it, don't choose it. If you do want to choose it, you've got to revisit the why. Why are you choosing this? Why are you putting yourself through this? You have the ability to zoom out in that moment, away from the immediate discomfort, and to refocus on the bigger picture of what this audition can actually lead to. So start training yourself, start training your mind to zoom out and reframe. So that's the things that you can control. Now, these are the things that you need to accept control over when you step into the audition room. How you react and respond. This is how you walk in the room, how you address the panel, how you think about and answer a question, and how you ask questions. Basically, the energy that you bring with you into the room. Because how the audition panel put themselves across has nothing to do with how you put yourself across. You can't control them. You can't control their thoughts, their actions, their opinions, and you can't control their verdict of your audition at the end of the day. So if you focus on the things that you can't control, you are missing a big opportunity of the things that you can control within yourself. Your pace. You do not need to allow yourself to be rushed. Say this with me. I will not allow myself to be rushed. Nerves make everything appear and operate faster. And that's to do with our fight and flight response. That is working in overdrive because it senses that there is stress, that there is danger, and it wants to get you out of that situation as quickly as it possibly can because it wants to keep you safe. Thank you, brain. Thank you, body. It's not helpful. But we need to shift our mindset into I will take my time. So don't jump into your speeches before you are ready. Don't rush through them because you feel like you're inconveniencing the panel. You're not. And give yourself time to listen, to digest, to really think about the interview questions that are being asked of you before you respond. Your pace will dictate your energy. So shift the mindset away from I have no time into I will take my time. Because in the end, You have paid for this audition. Cold hard cash. So you take the time that you have been paid for to do your best work. You can also take control of the order that you do your speeches in and whether you sit down or stand up. They sound like really tiny little things, right? Far too subtle and minuscule to even mention, right? Wrong. Taking command of the order in which you do your speeches tells your brain that you are in control, that you're running the show. You get to decide how this whole thing plays out, and you can order your material in a way that works for you best. Same with the decision to sit or stand. This is actually deciding and choosing to take command of how you appear in the space. To move a chair into the center of the room. You are allowing your mind to see that you are able to take up space, that you have permission and freedom to take up space and to settle physically into those surroundings. So don't default to the panel and ask them what they would prefer. What do you prefer? You are a solution to a problem. Now, this is one of my favorites. These drama schools have a problem. They have between 20 and 30 spaces that they need to fill for the next academic year. And this is a yearly problem that they have. They've got empty studio spaces, empty theatres, empty classrooms. They've got staff that need a job. They have bank accounts that need your tuition fees. This is a problem. And then you walk in with all your talent and your speeches and your desire to be an actor and your want to train in these facilities and be taught by this staff and to voluntarily give them thousands and thousands of pounds in exchange for it all. You're pretty awesome. You're the solution. You are actually what they need and have been looking for. And now you have a problem too. You've got the next year, 2, 3 years of empty time that you wish to fill with a little bit of training. And you're walking in here hoping that this school is going to be the perfect fit for you. And would you look at that? You're all in a room together where you just get to kind of show off your problems and your solutions and hash it out of whether you're all in alignment with each other. Just a big old chemistry test. Because check it out, you're auditioning them as much as they are auditioning you. You're bringing something important into the space and they are bringing something important into the space. And you've got to believe that. You've got to inject that into your mind. Eager to share. Do you remember when you were a kid and you would learn to do a cartwheel, or you've learned a funny joke, or you painted a picture, or you choreographed a little dance? What was the thing that you wanted to do? You wanted to share it. And yeah, the cynical side of me is saying that, well, the only reason that you wanted to share it is because you wanted validation and admiration and praise from somebody that you cared about, and to be told that you're wonderful, and eventually that will lead to a crippling sense of lack of self-worth and an intense need for approval and adoration from every single person on the planet. But actually, we share because we know that it would have a positive effect on the person that we're sharing it with. The joke would make them laugh. The cartwheel would encourage them to try it too. The painted picture would be viewed as a gift and make them feel like they are loved. Humans have an intense need to share and to connect. Why do we go to a theatre? Why do we go to a fireworks show or to a dance class? Because there are other people there. Because it's a community exercise. We want to share. So now we need to stop seeing auditions as a test, that the panel has set up traps and an assault course, and they are just waiting for you to completely screw it up. We instead need to see this as an opportunity to share, an opportunity to connect with them. Think about it. You chose these speeches because you liked them. You prepared them to a place that you feel is of high quality. And this isn't from the point of view of impressing them, but from a point of it being truthful and relatable. And now you get to give them that gift. And you can spend some time collaborating as equals. It's actually pretty wonderful if you think about it. Like-minded creatives in a room together, grappling over text and getting curious and explorative. That's the goal. It's like a really good thing. And that's what these auditions are. It's actually kind of exciting. Curiosity about them. Along with the sharing idea and the equality idea, we need to get the attention away from us and actually get our minds in a place where we are concentrating on the panel. Get curious about them, about how they give notes, about their energy, how they share, how they collaborate with you. In the interview stage, ask questions that you genuinely want them to answer. And get curious about the answers that they give. Turn it into a conversation. Remember their names, because they are people as well. It also really helps to focus on the panel instead of on ourselves, because the more that we focus on ourselves, the more we start to see the kind of tiny little details and the inaccuracies and the imperfections. And then we just get so far into our heads and cut ourselves off from that sharing, from that equality, from that curiosity. So actually, It's nothing to do with me, and it's all to do with you. It's all about service. It's all about sharing. So shift it away from you and onto them. So there we go. Mindset really matters. It can be the difference between a successful audition and a not so successful audition. Panels want to see that you've got confidence inside of yourself, and you need to be able to have the rigor and the resilience to actually withstand these stressful and potentially rejecting situations, because we're playing the long game here, and as actors there's a lot of rejection that's involved, so we need to be able to bounce back. I really hope that you found this useful. I really enjoyed making this particular video. So make sure that you like, that you subscribe, that you share this with other actor friends. And if you're interested in those workshops that I talked about earlier, then all of the details are in the description box below. But until next time,